Hi there, this is a Citrix XenApp tip of the day. This is regarding USRLOGON.CMD. Now, USRLOGON.CMD is a carryover from the NT4 days, where it was used primarily to assist with application compatibility. Now, it is currently installed still on your RDS or terminal servers, as well as XenApp servers. It is processed for every user that logs into either a remote desktop on the terminal server or Citrix XenApp server, as well as published applications it runs as well. So USRLOGON.CMD can be a useful tool for those admins who don't have access into Active Directory group policies or into the profile or account user settings in Active Directory for users as well. Now you can use USRLOGON.CMD since it launches for everybody to do things like update the user environment for map drives, for updating registry settings, things of that nature, and is relatively easy to do. So I'm going to show you a couple examples here. One example will be updating USRLOGON.CMD with a few lines that will basically log the host name, date, time, as well as username and login domain, and place that into a users.log file. Another setting that we'll modify here for users will be a HKCU current user setting to enable macros in Microsoft Access. Whereas by default, I believe the setting is to deny with notifications. So to make this happen, first thing we're going to do is create a folder called user logs and give users access rights into that folder to update a user log file. So we'll go ahead on the XenApp server. We'll navigate to the C drive and Windows and create a user logs folder. Now we want to give users access into this folder. So we'll set the security on that to allow users to modify. And OK, and OK. All right, so next thing we'll do is we'll modify actually that USRLOGON.CMD. So that's going to be located in the system32 directory. And we'll find that file, USRLOGON.CMD. Now, administrators do not usually have access rights to modify this, so we're going to have to change the permissions on this. So we'll pull the properties, security, advanced, change the owner to administrator. Select OK. And then we'll edit this and give administrators full control. So now we can go ahead and edit that file. First, we'll make a backup copy. Now we'll modify this file. So we'll come back to our lines of code. We're going to enter into that user logon.cmd. And place that after the echo off. As well as this enable all access macros. This will update the registry settings for that particular user specifically VBA warnings to a value of 1. So we'll go ahead and save this. And we'll log on as that standard user on our admin workstation. Launch access. And if everything goes according to plan, what will happen is that log file will be updated. So we'll take a look at that log file on the XenApp server. So I'm on the XenApp server now. And we'll go down to that user logs file. And we see that it has the name of the XenApp server, date, time, and user account with the domain that was used to authenticate that particular user. And this file will be appended each time and updated with each user that logs into the server. It's just a convenient way of looking at who's using the server, aside from going through the process of using director and querying that. This is a quick and easy and dirty method to do that. So user log file is being created. Now, in terms of the registry settings that this should be updating as well, we can take a look at the actual user session here and go to File, Options, Trust Center settings, macro settings, and we say it's now enabled all macros. Again, by default, I believe it's disable all macros with notification. All right, if we actually wanted to see this update that occurred in the registry while the user is logged in here, we can go back to our XenApp server and pull up the registry. And in the registry, we'll go ahead and not look at HK current user, but we'll look at, let's see, HK users. Find which hive here is being used by T as user. And since this T as user has access to this hive, that means that this reflects their existing session here. So we'll drill down to the registry, software, I believe it was Microsoft, and Office 16, and that was access and security. And there's the VBA warnings with a value 1, and that reflects our registry setting that we had updated regarding the script. So just another way for Citrix admins, depending upon their environment, if they don't have access into, again, Active Directory group policies or Active Directory users' computers to modify user properties, this is just another method of working around those limitations and being able to update the user environment by using the USRLOGON.CMD. And again, this gets processed for every user that logs into that XenApp server, and again, runs within the user security context. Okay, that's the hint for today. Thanks, guys.